Okay, check math 2. We're looking at 9.12, the last section of chapter 9. Out of the red book, page 425, we're going to look at two problems, number 82 and number 89. So they want me to solve this equation basically for theta. And so let's go to our Wayback Machine. If I had 4x, oops, wait, you can't see that, I don't think. I'm going to make it a little lower. Here, I think you can see it from here. If I had 4x is equal to 3, you would just divide both sides by 4, and then x would equal 3/4, or 0.75. So we're going to kind of do the exact same idea. Now, instead of x, we have cosine theta. So we want to isolate this first. We'll divide both sides by 4. It cancels the 4's. And so we get the cosine of theta is equal to 3/4, or 0.75. Now, we want to just have theta equals, though. And so we're going to want to get rid of this cosine theta. Well, we do that as an arc cosine. So we'd say theta is equal to the arc cosine of 0.75. And so we're going to key that into the calculator. The arc cosine, so that's second cosine. Make sure you're in degrees if you're getting something other than what I write on the board. So I'm getting 41.4 degrees. We'll just round that to 41 degrees. So theta is equal to 41 degrees. This one is a little tougher because this one they only wanted the answer from 0 to 90, so we only had to worry about the one answer that came up on our calculator. This one they made a little more difficult because they're going from 0 to 360. And we've got variables on both sides, so if these were x's instead of signs, we would say, okay, let's get them all over to one side. And so now we got this. We got 5 is equal to negative, let's see, 1 sine theta minus 9 sine thetas is negative 8 sine thetas. Again, just think of that as a variable, like 1x minus 9x would be negative 8x. Instead of x, though, it's sine theta. All right? Now we're going to do, now we got to just, like that one, divide both sides by negative 8. And so this time we've got, I'm going to write the sign first. Sine theta is equal to negative 5/8. So in our calculator, we're going to put theta is equal to the arc sine of negative 5/8, 5 divided by 8. And so what will that kick out? That's only going to be one of our answers. So we're going to do, let's see here, the arc sine of negative 5 divided by 8 is negative 38.7. We'll call it negative 39 degrees. Ooh, that doesn't help too much. That's not terribly helpful. Negative 39 degrees. So that's a really weird way, negative 39 degrees, of saying, let's graph that. Remember how negative angles work. Instead of going counterclockwise like we do with normal angles, we go clockwise. So negative 39 degrees is right here, but they want it from 0 to 360. So we can call this is coterminal with this angle. So if we go 360 minus 39, 360 minus 39 is 321. So one of our answers should be 321 degrees. That's one of our answers. They want two answers. So let's think about this. All-star trig class. So we're talking about sine. So it's negative in the fourth quadrant. That's the one that we found. And it's also negative, because it was negative 5/8. It's negative in the third quadrant. So we want this one. Well, that would mean this is 39 degrees right there. So how do I get that? I stop right there. So 180 degrees plus 39. And that should be our other answer. 8, 9, 10, 11, right? Carry the 1, 219 degrees. So those are our two answers, 219 and 321 for number 89. Don't worry about this. It's not going to make it to a test. I just want you to understand that depending on what they give you, whether it's 0 to 90, whether it's 0 to 360, they could give you two periods. They could say 0 to 720, and we'd have to find 4 different angles going around. And so that ends chapter 9.